welcome back. This is By the Book, and we're your married relationship coaches. I'm Sid.
I'm Sil.
And today we're talking about Love is Blind, Season 3, Episodes 8 through 10. This is Cole and Zanab. And if you watched our last video about them, you know that I was hard on Zanab, and I'm going to continue to be hard on Zanab because she's annoying. I'm sorry. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I mean, I get it. I sympathize with her. I understand about self-esteem. I understand that Cole is not great for her self-esteem, but that does not negate the fact that this girl is draining, irritating, annoying, and not fun. And that's how I feel about that.
Annoying, draining, irritating, and what else?
Not fun.
Not fun. Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, look, Cole gave this girl a sincere apology. I think it was very heartfelt.
Okay.
At the beginning of these episodes, he did apologize to her. He's been very complimentary of her appearance. He apologized for not making her feel like she was the only one, the only girl in the world.
Yes.
He knew the right things to say. Were they sincere? Were they not sincere? They read to me as being very sincere. How did you take them?
I felt he got better over the course of, I guess, their 4-week situation. I did feel he improved.
Yeah.
However, just because he improved with his way of apologizing and his affirmation towards her, it does not mean that the hurt is not there with her.
Sure. I'm not saying she's not going to carry it. I think that she might have blown it a little bit out of proportion, although it's hard for me to say. Like, I can't tell you how you should feel about something. But, I mean, it's time, I think, at some point to take a step back and say, like, how am I going to take this? Am I going to receive my soon-to-be husband as being honest and truthful with me at this point? Or am I just going to stick it to him for the rest of our being? You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? She's saying that she still wants to marry the man.
Yeah.
So when do you stop, like, holding him over the barrel? Like, give him a break.
Yeah.
I think. And I'm not saying that it was okay. I'm not trying to excuse anything that he said. I'm just saying to healthily move forward. What is the next logical step?
I think not trying to cover it up. I think that's the logical step, because we're taught to forgive and forget, but we never forget. For all intents and purposes, that whole statement is a lie. We never forget what the person or the persons did to us. And so actively trying to go through the forgiveness part, you have to continue to talk about it, especially from a woman's standpoint. And so not that that she or any other woman wants to rake her man across the coals, but that's the way women traditionally will kind of like work through whatever hurts them. They continue to talk about it.
I don't know. That might be an overgeneralization, but even if it's not, you know, he ain't cheat on her, right? Like,
this is true.
He didn't do such an egregious act. Like, it's not as big of a thing for her to get over. I could see if he went and he had sex with Colleen. Well, now we would be dealing with a whole different animal.
Yeah.
And I think I could get on board with that. But him complimenting her, not asking her out on a date, not kissing her, not touching her inappropriately, him complimenting her, arguably saying something that was out of line. But that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're making a bit of a mountain out of a molehill here. Like, I mean, honestly.
Okay, it is, but we already discussed that she brought insecurity into the relationship. And then what Cole did, it made it worse. You know? And so here it is. I think when people don't do the work ahead of time before they try to go into a relationship, they don't heal from whatever it is. It could have been childhood, or it could have been some other relationships that they've gone through. They carry that baggage into the next relationship. So she has that baggage that she brought in with Cole, and then Cole, I don't know, he definitely multiplied the baggage.
Yeah.
And so it grew. And so here it is. She is still trying to move forward with him, but it hurts. And so she probably needs to not try to sweep it under the rug because he apologized, but to continue to have him talk and be able to compartmentalize what actually he did to hurt her versus what someone else or other persons did to her.
Yeah, she probably needs to be in counseling if she isn't already, because he's not her therapist. And it's not fair to put him in that spot, I don't think. I know a lot of you definitely sympathize with Zanab, and I get it. I do sympathize with her too, but I think she's put in a little bit too much of this burden onto Cole.
Yeah.
And he is a young guy. He is a silly guy. He's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. If that's the case, don't marry him.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. If he's not going to work out for her, just let's let it go.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, because like you said, he is a young guy. He's showing some immaturity in the relationship. And then she's showing insecurity in the relationship. Those two don't mix.
It's too much.
Yeah. Immaturity and insecurity. No, that's just a recipe for disaster. Yeah. We see it.
I mean, and so she took one of his jokes, right? Like they had the bridge scene where she had the idea of getting a lock and locking it onto the bridge, which I think is kind of cute, writing whatever they want onto the lock. And he had a duplicate and dropped it in the water and made her think that he dropped it. I don't know if she really thought he did or not, because she didn't overreact. And I would have expected somebody like her to like throw a hissy fit on the bridge, but she didn't. So she seemed to take that in stride. And I was like, okay, they're doing good. They're over this hump. You know, she can take his jokes or whatever. And that's cool. So the next thing that I guess a hurdle that they sort of ran into is still this, his parents want to meet her, but not until after they're married, which I think is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
I think it would be more hurtful to him than it is to her, because like these are not people who she knows or is invested in. But you know, she's bothered by that, and I think particularly triggered because she doesn't have her own parents.
True. But you know, rejection, it has no face. So rejection from someone that she knows versus rejection from someone that she doesn't know. Not to say that the person that she would have known, it would hurt more if it was the person that she would have known. However, it's still going to sting a little bit. That the people who are close to him don't want to have anything to do with her. But like I was saying in our last video, I think that more or less has to do with Cole than her. But she's not figuring that part out.
No, she's not. Everything is very personal to her. It was really sad kind of watching her with the dress scene. You know, she was very broken up. Then neither of her parents would be present for it. So, I mean, I know she has open wounds in terms of that. But again, that's something that she may have to kind of figure out through some counseling or therapy on her own. Unfortunately, that's a wound that nobody can heal.
True.
That's a hole nobody can feel.
True.
That's tough.
Yes.
You know, I can't do anything but sympathize with that.
Yes.
But
same here.
With the rest of the stuff, it's just like
now it's about to happen.
No, I mean it's just rough. So I mean they had the dance lessons. You guys remember that? That was super cute. They looked like they were gonna step all over each other's feet, but I mean they were having a good time. This was a positive experience. Cole was still affirming her. They had the little dinner on the boat. He was still affirming her. They were having a good time. Nothing was really going wrong for her to be like put off by him.
Yes.
So I guess he had planned to cook dinner for her back at their apartment. And he's trying. You know, he's cutting up these sweet potatoes, bless his heart. They're looking like chunks. I don't know what it was. When he said they were supposed to be sweet potato fries, I was like, all right. Whatever. But he's trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's in the kitchen. He's trying. He's cooking some sort of chicken that she said was unseasoned. I mean, what did you expect?
Yeah.
Was Cole gonna cook some seasoned chicken? He wasn't. I'm just saying, he wasn't gonna be seasoned very well.
Yeah.
So, you know, but she couldn't leave him alone. She was so naggy. She's like, oh, well, you put this in too soon. This isn't going to be ready. The potatoes are going to take a long time. Oh, let me see the chicken. You didn't do this right. She's flipping it over. It needs seasoning. No, not on that side. Like, girl, get out of the kitchen. And then she starts complaining, like, well, this was supposed to be you cooking dinner for me.
Yeah.
Well, unless I punch you and knock you down to the floor, how am I going to cook it? Because you're all in my space.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and he, I think, was kind of trying little by little to take that in stride. But you can tell it's just like nagging at him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shut up. Like, can you not hear yourself talking, Xander? You're irritating.
Yeah.
So she goes into the microwave and she comes across, I don't know, I guess they were Nerf balls. I thought they were like ping pong balls or whatever it was. They went to a Nerf gun thing that he had.
He's
and he started shooting her with
the
it.
Nerf gun.
Now, personally, I think this is hilarious. Like, honestly, if I came home to a Nerf war, I would be thrilled. You know how I mean, like, I think that's hilarious.
Well, while you were trying to cook.
Yeah, while I was trying to cook. Now, not while I was mad, but while I'm trying to cook, I wouldn't care. I would be like, please don't get it in the skillet.
Okay.
But, I mean...
Okay. But when you're already annoyed...
When I'm already annoyed, it probably wouldn't be a good time. Okay. But you see, he put the balls in the microwave because he was trying to set up a fun time. She was supposed to find those. And she was supposed to be like, oh, what are these? And then she was going to turn around and get pop in the face with the Nerf gun. He probably had another one for her somewhere in the apartment. But she can't have fun. Like, nobody wants to be with the uptight stick in the mud. It's not fun. The uptight, naggy, needy stick in the mud.
Yeah.
If you don't like him, just say that. And just leave him alone. I don't know. And then they have this falling out right there, and this is supposed to be their last day before they have their wedding day, right? It's the last day they're going to see each other anyway, before they have their wedding day, and it's going south. It's not looking good at all. She walks out because... What did he ask her? Is she bipolar?
He did.
Like, they're going back and forth and having this, and it was inappropriate. Don't get me wrong. He shouldn't have asked her if she was bipolar. But Cole he's like a lighthearted spirit. And I think he was still not really understanding the gravity of what was going on.
He repeated it. He repeated that question at least 3 times to her. So he knew. He knew. He knew.
So you think he was just trying to piss her off? I don't think he was trying to piss her off. I think he might legitimately want to know, is she diagnosed with bipolar disorder?
She was getting, at that particular time, on his nerve.
Yeah.
And so, in his frustration, are you bipolar? You know? It's not like they were having
some serious type of conversation.
Yes, they were having an argument.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing that you want to say or ask, you know.
Probably so. I mean, you're sympathizing with her more than I am.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he should have said that. I'm just saying I understand. Because she was being super annoying.
She was super annoying. And you know what? I can see it both ways, to be honest with you. I'm really right down the middle. Because in all of that, the Bible says it's easier for a man to live on the roof of his house than to stay in the house with a nagging woman. And so...
and there you have it. That right there, that's the bottom line.
Yeah. So I do get it. I do get, what he's walking into, but I know he added on to it what was already there. And so, and I know that he is not as mature as she would want him to be, especially not in situations that she wants him to be mature.
But it's so frustrating for somebody to be like, to take themselves so seriously that they can't be joked with. Not in a are you bipolar type of way. I don't think that was appropriate. I don't think it was nice. I don't know what exactly he was trying to do. But like the rest of that, like how naggy she was and how he can't like do the Nerf gun thing with her. And she's always like griping and complaining about where he puts towels. And he's like, well, you put them in the bathtub. And she's like, well, at least they're not on the floor. Everything that she does that like he comes back and says there's something wrong with. Yeah. Well, it's better than what you did. Yeah. It's like, no, you're kind of acting like you think you're his mom.
Yes.
And you're not. Yeah. You're his fiance, soon to be wife, should be. You can't be treating people like that. It's not going to work out.
That is true, but he doesn't help himself either by sometimes acting immature as well. The bottom line is they both need to say no.
They do, because she doesn't like him. Yeah. She can, and then it's just condescending how she comes off. She's like, he pours her some wine. He's trying to do nice things. And she's like, I need a stemmed glass. Yes. Now, I get it. Like, I like wine, okay? So I understand why you don't want to put white wine in a stemless wine glass. I get it. You're going to warm it with your hands. But can you just take what he's trying to do for you as a kind gesture. Even if you went and got the stem glass and kindly poured it in, just while he wasn't looking, you're being a complainer.
Yes.
And nobody likes people like that.
You know what? I get it. Her attitude is funky.
Thank you. Thank you for finally calling it.
It is. Her attitude is funky. But I can still see the origins of it, or what's kind of like is fueling it. And what's fueling it is definitely that whole Colleen thing that he did.
Yeah. Either she's gonna have to get over it, or she's gonna have to just leave him alone. They tried to have the conversation about if they were gonna say yes I want to call it decision day, but on their wedding day. And she's still saying she doesn't know. He's like, I don't feel good about it. And it was just rough.
Yeah.
He says specifically, I want a wife who laughs with me and builds me up. You know what her response to that was?
Well, what did she say?
I do laugh with you. I do build you up. That's not how you respond to that. True. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm telling you you don't do something for me, you can't come back and tell me, yes, I do. Mm-hmm. That's going to make me punch you. You know? But he can't punch her. But no, that's going to infuriate the other person. It's like you're invalidating everything that they're saying.
Yeah.
That doesn't work in an argument. Yes. If somebody is telling you how you make them feel, what you don't do, then you need to listen to that. Yeah. He's listened to her. True. In terms of how he made her feel with Colleen, and he's addressed it. He's not saying, I didn't make you feel that way with Colleen. That shouldn't be how you felt in response. No, he's not doing that. He gave everything that she said about that validation. He apologized for it, and he course corrected his behavior.
Yeah.
Now, what is she doing? Nothing. She's saying, I'm perfect. I don't like it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. You're right. She's not working with him as far as any type of growth within that marriage. And we continue to hear that in the relationship.
Yeah.
But we know in marriage that a marriage is a mirror for both people to kind of like see, how the person is. And he has been trying to reflect back to her. She's not receiving it.
Because she thinks she's his mom. So, I don't know, you guys. Let us know what you think. What do you think they're going to say?
I think both of them are going to say no.
You think?
Yes. And they should say no.
They should.
They see the writing on the wall. Like I said, immaturity and insecurity, those are some of the two worst character traits anyone can have. And when you mix those both together, you have nothing but chaos. Boom. Explosion. So yeah, they both need to say no.
Yeah, I hope they do. I really hope they do. But you guys let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to have happen and what you think is going to happen. It can't be a bigger surprise than what happened with Raven and SK. So
wait a minute, you didn't say what you were going.
I don't know. I'm gonna say they'll say no. I hope he says no.
Okay.
I don't want her heart to be broken or anything like that. Hopefully he gets to go first, and then he just says no and she can walk away.
Okay. But you think both of them should say no?
Absolutely. Okay. I hope they both say no. Please say no.
Okay.
So anyway, like I said, drop your comments below, guys. Let us know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.